Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and today we're going to talk about what happened to Project Stash Down 2025, and are you doing a Project Stash Down 2026? And the answer is life, other projects, and yes. So, if you are new to my channel, if you have just come for the year of the make-alongs, if you came in at the end of 2025, if this is your first video, welcome, Hidely Hoodly. I hope you're doing fantastic. I hope you'll come back to see other things from me. But 2025 got away from me. I decided to do Christmas blankets for all of my stepsons, their wives, and their children. So 10 blankets for everybody. And doing that took over 2025. And there was a certain point in 2025 where that was the only thing I was allowing myself to do. And I still feel like I just barely clocked in time for Christmas. But Project Christmas Blanket is over. Everybody has their blankets. Everybody got done in time for Christmas. I can focus on new things. And what I want to focus on this year is Stash Down. I'm going to take a break here and I'm going to show you the pictures of, first I'm going to show you the video of where I trashed the craft room, how bad it really was coming into the new year. Then I'm going to show you pictures of 2025 versus 2026 January, once everything was picked up, and see how little change there really was between the two. And then we'll come back and talk. So I have warned you guys a number of times that I have quite literally in the last 2 months, 3 months, mostly November and December, trashed my entire yarn room. It's not just in here. I've got most of the paper crafting stuff cleaned up, but between needing to get to things, having to hide things, having leftovers from things, we're in quite the state here. So, I don't think anything's going to change here on the yarn wall. I do kind of want to get like a base line for this though. Not much has changed since, truthfully, the beginning of 2025. So if you were here for Project Use the Yarn You Own. Yeah, so once again, we have fingering weights. I do need to, I'm filming this before New Year's, but this belongs to me. I have done good this year overall, given the circumstances. Size 3 starts here, and we go through here-ish. No, here. It's kind of hard to tell because the bottom row is completely covered. Then we have worsted. And my bulky actually starts here. I keep forgetting these two are also bulky, so I have 6 bulky cubes there. But we have large skeins. I pulled a lot of stuff off of here that is going to be for joining scrap gans. I did add a couple of balls this year as well for other projects. So we have a combination of events going on there. I added the Southern Comfort Fiber Market yarn from 2025 here, but I think I've only pulled 2 yarns out from here in the whole of 2025. We did have a bunch of rearranging here happening, but it's still full again, so almost impossible to tell that there's been any progress. We have joining yarns, plus there's some extras from a blanket down there and decor. So I'm going to be honest, I'm a little on the overwhelmed side of things. I really want to find a place to put my Care Bears here. That's the Care Bears X Monsters. I'd give you a close-up, but I can't actually get to them. I have the other two actually back behind there, but they're up against my ALC yarn. So this is our starting point for 2026. I'm not happy about this is what my yarn room is looking like. But this is where we are. This is the truth of it. This is reality. So to be fair, I have all of this stack right here is my Cedar Halloween Mal project. This is leftovers from the Dragonfly blanket, along with some leftovers from the C2C and some yarns that are also wool blends. This is leftover from the Solid Granny. I don't know what's in the cube down there. The box has leftovers from about 5 of the blankets in it, plus underneath. These were yarns I was going to review, plus a joining yarn for another project. So, I mean, it shouldn't take me too long to make heads or tails of the mess. Finding homes for the mess is going to be the issue. So, I don't know how long it'll be between this video and my next check-in, but this is where we are. All right. So I want to start off by saying, yes, I'm embarrassed. Don't get me wrong. I am embarrassed of how bad I let this get between the over purchasing, the purchasing, the inability to do things, the expectations of myself that I just failed. I am not, however, embarrassed that it happened because I know why it happened. I bought certain things for the purpose of review that are sitting in a bag over here. I can't do the review anymore because the yarn is already discontinued. It was a seasonal yarn. I thought I had time. Then I had back-to-back things happen, and I could only do Project Christmas Blanket after that. I didn't have time to work on anything for the purpose of review. Was that my fault? I probably shouldn't have assumed I could do it, but not really. It's not really my fault, technically. I overbought yarn for Project Christmas Blanket. Is that my fault? Yes. I did not have very specific guidelines in mind for certain things when I bought them. I knew I needed the black for 2 or 3 blankets. I overbought black by 2, 4, 6 skeins, 7 skeins. I knew I needed the gray for 2 blankets, maybe 3 or 4. Did I overbuy it? Yes. It's okay. It's yarn that'll get used. I counted it towards my budget for last year, what ended up in my stash. Now, what I used for Project Christmas Blanket, I did not count against myself. What I did not use, full skeins, overstock, that did get counted. And I still came in with a positive end of the year. Even the extra that I purchased to go for the Granny's Christmas blanket out of my scraps from doing the Dragonfly blanket. I bought extra cream to do a grandmother's flower garden and a skein of curing cakes and pistachio to do the centers. That is going to be a project. It's all it's together. There's a bag and there's a box, and they're all together for a big project. I counted that towards my budget. I still came out positive. So at the end of the day, I broke even last year. Even counting the Southern Comfort Fiber Market purchase for my birthday, I came in the positive overall last year. So I'm annoyed with myself, but I'm not mad at myself. I didn't do anything wrong against my budget, against my own rules, morally, ethically. Like, I didn't do something wrong. I just didn't do what I had wanted to do. And that annoys me for a number of reasons, but not like, I'm embarrassed in the sense, you know, I trashed the room, everything's stacked up. It is what it is. I'm in the position I am in the position of, and it's not where I wanted to start my year this year. I'm embarrassed in that way, but I'm not humiliated like I did something wrong. So, as you could tell between the pictures, there was not a whole lot of difference between where we started 2025 and 2026. Real quickly, I want to insert the video of the final cleanup and where that, like, what my commentary was at the time I filmed that. Okie dokie, guys. So, this is where we're going to start off the year. This is a scrap project I want to work on. These, hopefully, I will turn into donations. This is all the leftover worsted yarn, Hirschner's worsted, from doing Project Christmas Blanket. We have the Searder Halloween Mal, which is on my list of UFOs to finish this year. We have some yarn that needs to be shelved. Either this undyed yarn or that undyed yarn will be used in a project this year, a portion of it. I still need to find a place to put my air purifier. We have some bits here that some of it will be used to join blankets. Some of it is like the I-cord and stuff I just don't have a home for. And those are my yarnables. So my floor is mostly clean now. All of the stuff is mostly off the floor. And really there's no change to the yarn wall here other than I took out the Christmas stuff from this cube. And those were there already. So yeah, everything is mostly cleared out. Oh, I did slide down my big balls up here and put some of my sweater quantities up there. So we do have some sweater quantities plus a Christmas kit hanging out there. So, yeah. Everything's basically the same, but now we at least have some floor space. And that is 2026's prizes to myself if I do well on my goals. Even my desk is mostly clean. So I have the project and yarnable that I pulled out that I'm either going to do a muscle burr or something. This combo just needs to be something. My yarn for the Captiva tee. And we'll talk about this in another video, but this is one of my prizes for 2025. I'm not giving myself the whole prize, but I'm at least going to give myself a sweater quantity of yarn. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with where we are. I'm surprised I got this much cleaned up off the floor and was able to sort, pack, and put up this much. Like even the Premier Basics I was able to shelve over here. So no real issues trying to get things put away. I'm very pleased with that. And while we do have a couple of things still stored on the floor, it's, you know, not even filming this, it's not even January yet. So I want a place to put these guys because I have the other two downstairs. But yeah. I think this is going to go into another video, so I'm just going to say, and back to whatever present day Carrie has to say. Now, I haven't gone back to rewatch that as of filming this, and I did that intentionally. It's been a couple of weeks. So I don't know what I said in that video. I legitimately do not remember what I said at the time. What I'm going to say right now might be something completely different, and that's valid and fine. So for 2026, I have my flatbed knitting machine. I have a lot of projects to catch up on with my knitting machine for dummies workshops. I want to do those. Those are going to take me probably 500 to 1,000 grams worth of yarn when I get caught up on those. And that's just where we are now, halfway through making a raglan sweater, like a baby raglan sweater. So I want to do that. I have a couple projects in mind that I want to make on the knitting machine, just because like I know what I want. I know what I'm looking for. I know they're basic. I think I can do this. So I want to do those. That's going to take, I think, 1.5 shelves worth of my Sport and DK weight yarn. Just in the next, say, 6 months. That's my goal, at least. I need to finish some hats to go with some scarves for donation. They're not going to be able to be donated this year. I'm just not going to have time in January and February. And by March, they're not going to be looking for hats and scarves anymore. That's fine. I want to, knock down some of my, like, this is Premier Basics. This is Woolies. This is for a sweater. This needs to be turned into donation items. These need to be turned into donation items. These need to be turned into donation items. This is a gift. I know who that's for. That's going to be a gift for somebody. I have the need for some intentional masculine hats this year. So I will be hand knitting those. That's a personal project. I will be hand knitting those. Those will probably be done in fingering weight, which will slow down the usage of a lot of things that I have in mind. But it is what it is. Now, I would like to end this year with one bookcase, between the two bookcases, having at least 2 shelves cleared. I would like, ideally, truthfully, I think it's possible to have 5 cubes cleared as well. So that's going to be kind of what I focus on this year. I don't know how we're going to do updates. I don't know how often I'm going to come back and share with you guys where we are. I will be very mindful. So I changed this year I changed the percentage I gave myself as a seed budget this year. Normally I would take all of my FOs and leftover budget, take 50% of that and turn that into my seed budget for the next year. So for every 100 grams I finish, I get $1. So I finished last year with 96 pounds in FOs. So took those grams, the budget I had left, even after including things I don't include for that budget, I still had like $63 left over. Instead of giving myself half of that as my budget, seed budget for this year, I'm giving myself 25% of it. It gives me the opportunity, if I come across a really good sale, I can purchase stuff. It does not, however, give me enough to go on a shopping spree. So I have a lot of things in mind. I have a lot of things I'm very excited to work on. I have a lot of things that I have the yarn, but I don't know what I want them to be yet. I did go ahead and pull yarn to finally do a ranunculus. I want to spend the Q1 yarn weight goal for the year of the make-alongs, another year of the make-alongs, is bulky weight. I keep forgetting I have 2 bulky weights down here. So I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 full down here, plus this is like leftover small balls, fancy hand dyeds, and these are the Karen X Pantone Hanks. I think by the end of Q1, I could have 50% of one of these cleaned out, if not one whole one cleaned out. There are a couple yarns in here that I'm considering donating. I don't know yet. And there are a couple yarns in here where I think I have the right project in mind or something close that I can do with them. I do have one project already going with the Peyton's Misty that I had wanted to work with and set out. That was going to be the quarter yarn to work with, but I want to be a little bit more intentional and a little bit more focused and forceful with it. So that's where we are. That's where my mindset is right now, mid-January, trying to pull all of this together. So I wanted to be honest with you guys. I've been sharing Project Stash Down. I mean, I made holes in 2024. Some of those holes got filled, like when Nikki retired ALC subscription boxes. I gave her one of my empty cubes. So like all of her hand dyeds that I own are in a cube together. And that's great. Like I didn't lose that space because I purchased things. I didn't bring in extra at that point. That was just, it's now a dedicated shrine. Until I use it, it's a dedicated shrine to Nikki's subscription box. I pulled kits together with some of my yarns, and that takes up more room than just shelving yarn. So, that took up some of the extra space that I got myself in 2024. So that did fill my shelves throughout 2025, building kits and things like that. But I do have, where I overbought yarn for Project Christmas Blanket shelved and in bins. So part of my goal for this year in general is not having anything stored in bins on the floor or in my carts. I want my carts empty. I want to be able to put those. I have stuff in the closet I would like to store on my carts, like my Halloween sock yarn and my Christmas sock yarn and stuff. I would like to have those together. Like I said, eventually I would like to have everything in my closet out here in this part of my room so I can use that for other storage for my household, because crafting stuff in there, it's kind of a black hole for me. If I don't see it, I don't know I have it. That's why I use open storage for everything. I deal with the fact I have to come in here with a vacuum and dust the yarn wall, and I have to do, like carpet beetle checks and stuff. Like I accept that as part of what I need to do because I won't use it. I will lose it in my brain if it's not out. So I have some big goals. I have some pathways to be able to get to some of these goals. I don't know how often we're going to check in, but we will still check in with each other here. I do have a request though. If you guys know of some really awesome patterns that use fingering yarn held double, can you comment down below the patterns you're thinking of? Because I have some yarns that on their own, like I like them. I bought them and I've kept them because I like them, but on their own for projects, like I'm just going to make socks out of them. That's all they're going to be. But I think they're nice enough to where I would like to see them in larger patterns. And I really love holding yarn double because I love the marl effect. And I also love being able to blend, like doing the held double. You've got AA, AB, BB, BC, CC, CD, DD, where you drop one and add in the other and kind of create a marl fade instead of like the 2, 6, 4, 4, 6, or 2, 4, 4, 2, 4, whatever fade effect where you alternate colors to create the fade. I like the marl fade where you drop a yarn and step it into the new color. Anyway, if you have patterns that you think would be good for something like that, or would look really good with a marl texture, so where maybe like it's a soft lace pattern that it's not heavy lace work where you really want it to like the lace to shine, where it's something like, like the ranunculus. That's one of the reasons why people love the ranunculus so much. That pattern is nice, but it looks good in so many different textures because it's a soft pattern in the knitting. So anyway, if you have something like that you can think of that would help me with the fingering weight, I have a lot of stuff that I want to use like that. Plus like the minis and stuff that I have a bunch of those that I think would be great in like holding an undyed yarn. and then alternating minis in. Like, there are so many things like that that I would love to do. But I'm asking for your help if you have one of those patterns. Anyway, I'm going to go. I could sit here and talk forever, but I'm going to go ahead and go. I love you guys. I hope you're having a wonderful, fantastic day. As always, I look forward to seeing you real soon. Bye, guys.